Hello. Oops, sorry, I just hit the mic. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Somundai. Hi, Sunshine. Hi, Night. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Hi, Clover. I'm a little low energy today, so I don't know how long I'll be able to stream. Yeah, y'all were on it like immediately. I was muted while I was trying to post links to social medias. I am Anita. Thank you. Yeah, it's coming along. Actually, one part of it that I just noticed. Do I know of Sparkle dogs? I am aware of the phenomenon from the I'd say about the turn of like 2008 to 2010-ish Sparkle dog fad. Do I speak other languages besides English? I can speak Japanese, but it's gotten very rusty because I haven't been able to utilize it for quite a few years now, so. But I took... I think I took 2 years of Spanish. I took 3 years of German. And then I took Japanese for about 5 years in college. That was my major. Hey, Sunburn. I said sunburn. Sunbird. Hey, Delphino. Hey, Elization. Yeah, I like learning languages. I took a lot of linguistics classes in college. One of my favorite classes I took was, it was kind of like an elective. Like, I don't think it mattered to for any of my, like, degree major or anything, but I took a it was like linguistics and psychology, or the psychology of linguistics. I don't know, it was a very interesting class. Like one of my favorite classes I took. I love it when Billy Storm said, "It's Billy time." And oh my god, Lettuce, I just remembered you sent me a message on Tumblr, not Tumblr, on Discord like a month ago, and I don't think I ever responded to you. Do you want me to still respond to that? I remember you sent it to me when I was like visiting. I was like doing the whole hospital thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like so swamped when you sent it to me, so I read it and I was like, I'll respond to it later, and then it got buried. Okay. I'll try to remember. I've just had it crazy. My 2024 has been absolutely insane. Crazy busy. Crazy adulting. It's the worst thing that happens in your life? Depression. Turns out. Are you a furry or a Therian? I don't know what a Therian is. I wouldn't really consider myself a furry because I don't really have a persona. But I don't have anything against furries. Not like I decide. I don't know. I definitely enjoy furry artwork sometimes. Like I like when people do like animal versions of characters. I specifically like when people do like Animal Crossing villagers. For a while I was like doing Animal Crossing villager versions of like Fire Emblem characters. And I think I do have a couple of like furry OCs, like OCs that are like anthro. But I'm not really in any furry communities. I mostly just draw cats. Do I have any advice for drawing trees? Whenever I do compositions with trees, I think of what's the rule? There's like the 8 rules of composition. Hold on. I totally took that class. It's I believe I think about the repetition and there's one rule where it's like leading lines. So repetition and leading lines. Leading lines I definitely use with my trees. Like this tree, you can see it's like if you follow it up, it's pointing towards these cats, or this branch is pointing towards this den. This tree branch is pointing to this den, and this one's pointing up to these cats. You know? Excuse me. I had pizza for lunch. Yeah. I wish I could, like, show you some layouts I've done for, like, NDA projects that have trees that I feel like have more, like, a better example of it, but the repetition is, like, for when you have trees going up and down and stuff. I just, like, think of the rules of thirds, not the rules of thirds, like, framing, leading line, and patterns. I don't know. At the moment, it switches Delfino, like, of what I like more. Like, currently I've been liking drawing the backgrounds more than characters. Thank you for the tree tips. I sometimes make thumbnails. For this one, I just like, this is, where's my, so for this one, I just like started, here's what it looked like a couple days ago. So for this one, I didn't do any thumbnails. I just was doing like a color slap over the actual picture. For these ones, I usually just do like this is what it started like a couple days ago, and I was like testing like different stuff and trying like, I think I did a couple color balance ideas. Here's actually, let me see if I still have it. My first go at trying to color this was like this. Like, I was like, I kind of want it to be like warm over here and cool over here. I did this with a trackpad. It's like color splash. And then I started to like fully render it out and stuff like that. And then I was like, I definitely want there to be like a difference between this part of the drawing, and I wanted the shadows to be on this side, and then you kind of just start, and then I just kept rendering it out. I'm like, I definitely want the past to be lighter than the actual cliffs so that you can like follow them with your eye. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, I did a lot of landscape studies. Like whenever there was an option to do landscape studies for like an assignment, I do landscape studies. I just find it a lot more relaxing to draw landscapes than like a lot of other things. I need to finish drawing these stupid kitties. There's some good environments out there. Like, specifically thinking about it, a lot of old Disney movies, like, have really good backgrounds. Urban perspectives are okay. I mean, I've definitely done them because you have to do, like, perspectives like that for, like, a perspective class or something like that, where you actually have to do like the perspective grid and stuff, but it's just like it feels so structured that it like takes a lot of the fun out of it for me. Like when I'm drawing trees and natural stuff, there's like so much more that you can like warp, in my opinion, without it starting to look like you really off, or like you don't really, like as a viewer you're like something feels off but I can't quite put it. I'm using Photoshop. It's on the top left of the screen. Sleeping Beauty has good backgrounds. Snow White has good backgrounds. Bambi, anything from like that era has really good backgrounds. I think they were all made by the same team of people. I'm thinking like Brother Bear. Gravity Falls has really good like forest backgrounds if you're looking for forest backgrounds. I think Gravity Falls actually has, like, lined forest backgrounds. Let me check. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. I have to actually type in backgrounds. Yeah, see, they have really good backgrounds. Look at this. Here's a Gravity Falls background. So, I mean, like, there's definitely, like... Actually, I don't think that was from the actual show. There's one specific picture I think of whenever I think of Gravity Falls background. Let me check. It's like one of the river. Yeah, they do have lined backgrounds. I'm not a fan of like how same trees, but yeah. Gravity Falls has good lined backgrounds. And I want to say, oh, what is that? Where the is that like where the garden in where the what's the one with Elijah Wood? That's like a Halloween-y one. Over the garden wall. What's their backgrounds look like? For some reasons, I feel like they also have lined backgrounds. They do not. Oh yeah, they have that painterly stuff that make it look really weird. No, it's kind of lined. It's just like a very different style. But they have really good, like, this. Here, look at this. Like, you could study these backgrounds. Like, you see how all the lines, like, the trees are going like this to like, and then like this, and they're leaving like a really open space for this right here. And then this is really busy over here, so you kind of like ignore it. Yeah. They're pretty good to study. Yeah. There's some good backgrounds out there. Anyway. Over the Garden Wall is better at like looking about how they frame their shots with trees, I feel like. Because in Gravity Falls, they mostly just have pine trees, and they just do a lot of like repetitive lines. What's a game I grew up with? I grew up with a lot of like GameCube games and Spyro. I remember Spyro, Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Thousand Year Door, Paper Mario. I had a Game Boy and a GameCube. Of Outcast. Yeah, Outcast is the one with the mountain, right? Yeah. I did like that one. I really liked the covers of the Fourth Apprentice and the old covers of Fourth Apprentice and Fading Echoes. Fading Echoes has such a good like old cover. Let me show you guys. Wow, my stupid freaking pictures come up when I look up Fading Echoes. Ugh, get away. They're like 15 years old. This one. I always was really obsessed with this cover. What made me want to start drawing? I don't know. I started drawing when I was like 2 or 3. And then my dad took me to Art in the Park, which was like an art class that was in our local park. So I've like literally always been drawing. Yeah, I like the OG covers. What's my favorite warrior cat? Today, I'm going to pick... My favorite cat today will be Shadow Sight. It changes every day, by the way. I've been thinking about Shadow Sight a lot lately. Thea Pavlis... Thea Kaja. I can't say your first name, I'm sorry. I'd need some pronunciation guide. I don't have a least favorite. Actually, that's a lie. It's Moth Flight, but... What tablet do I use? I use a Wacom. I actually don't know what the new version is called. A Wacom Intuos. Like an 8-inch tablet. Kaya. Okay. The J is Kaya. Okay. It makes sense now. No, it's not a screen tablet, Rainy. It's just a drawing tablet you put beside your, like, in place of your mouse. I've never used a screen tablet. I'm really zoomed in. I'm actually not really zoomed in. I was only zoomed in to like 150%, but it felt like it was zoomed in a lot. Also, I need to be wearing my glasses. I'm not talking about Mothwing Sunshine, I'm talking about Mothlight. But I also am not a fan of Mothwing. She's been getting progressively worse as she ages, just like every single other warrior cat. I said Mothflight. I'm not gonna like hang you if you like Mothwing or if you like Mothlight. I just don't personally think I'd ever do like a project on them or anything. Actually, that's a lie. I was actually thinking about doing a Sasha and Sasha's relationship with like Mothwing. I had a song idea for that. Or like I was listening to a song that gave me that idea. But then I was like, I don't really like Mothwing enough as a character to spend like a year of my life doing a project with her as like the main character. Mothlight's book is hands down the worst full single like story book, not including the novellas, that the team has ever put out. You can indeed get some of my prints, Raidu. Simply follow the link in the description below. This video is sponsored by my own dang store. Yeah, her love interest is Micah. Yeah, Sunbird. That was the only one that I feel like as I was reading it, I had to put it down and like walk away from it multiple times. Yeah, Ruby, I suppose. I just like, ah, man, that book is just so... Like, I feel like that's one of the books... It has to be one of the books that the new team had written before they actually, like, understood everything. It feels like it's just written wrong. Like, it feels like it doesn't really have any follow-through with Dawn of the Clans. I don't know. I remember in Mothlight's vision, Clear Sky is like unnecessarily cruel, and it's not just like he's cruel because Mothlight is Windrunner's daughter and it's like an unreliable narrator, and so she's like portraying him as being worse than he actually is. No, he's like unnecessarily cruel. And like as somebody that really enjoyed watching Clear Sky grow and develop during Dawn of the Clans, and then seeing him like going back to just being the menace he was in the 3rd book and acting like the 4th through the 6th books never happened. It like really pissed me off. Like, that was the one time that when they retconned somebody's personality during a book that I, like, hands down was like, this is, like, the worst decision. Because they can't make conflict without making one side look legitimately horrible in Warrior Cats. They, like, are incapable of writing it like that. Man, why am I zooming in so much today? I feel like it's because, I don't know. It's on the screen, Roma. It's in the top left. It's Photoshop. If you ask again, I will mute you. Hey, Amber. Yeah, Sunbird. When I said that, when I started saying, like, I feel like they're incapable of writing conflict without making one character, like, absolutely horrible, I started thinking about how they're trying to, like, write conflict with Tigerstar in, Starless Clan, and they're doing a pretty good job, but it's also, like, it's hard because it's coming off of the broken code, and Tigerstar was hands down, and supposed to be hands down, like, the most rational leader during the broken code. So to do a 180 and, like, try to make him the villain all of a sudden, it's like, all of us are gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because we saw him literally, like, a month ago in canon be a rational human being. And they're like, oh, he's just getting high because he was right about Ashfur, and I'm like, I guess that's like how they're trying to like rationalize it to us. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure Tigerstar doesn't want to take over RiverClan, so like, why are you guys trying to push this on me as a narrator? Ivy Pool's Super Edition? I feel like they're gonna meet some like wild cats, like not like how weird cats are wild cats, but I'm talking about like wild big cats or like something. Like they're gonna meet like lynxes or something, is what I suspect from the preview. So like they're long and lost ancestors or something like that, or I don't know. I guess Amber. I guess it's like, it's hard to just see him as a threat. Like, all the other clans, like, all the other point of views are trying to, like, convince you that he's definitely a threat in a Starless Clan, and I'm just like, he's literally not a threat. Like, you can just rationally, like, that happened finally in Thunder, which I've been, like, demanding through the entirety of a Starless Clan to be like, where's Tree? Like, where's Tree? Like, all of this can be solved if you guys just remember that Tree exists. And they finally remembered that Tree existed in Thunder, and I was like, thank you. And then it was actually, like, helping. I was like, this is why it was stupid. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, you're right, Amber. It causes frustration to read it. Tigerstar is literally like himbo. He just like is handsome and he's stupid. Those are his personality traits. Also, he's a dad joke. Violet Shine is in SkyClan, Twig Branch is in ThunderClan. Lettuce. That's my favorite part, is whenever Tigerstar makes jokes and nobody laughs. It's so funny. Does anybody remember in, I think it's in Shadow, when Nightheart is doing his trials, and he has, one of his trials is to steal, like, a pair of underwear from the camper, that's, like, camping in the campsite next to ShadowClan, and he steals underwear, and he carries them into ShadowClan's camp, and afterward, Tigerstar's like, now get this crap out of my camp. It stinks. Does anybody remember that? Because I do. I think about it a lot. The writers are on their comedic A game right now. Yeah, I really like Tigerstar. The second. What's my favorite SkyClan cat? Tree now. I like Tree a lot. I love Tree. Yeah, they're still going, Steph. They're I think next month they release the next, like, main series. Yeah, Lettuce. I mean, Hawkwing had his own Super Edition, and he's deputy. So I think Hawkwing will probably become Hawkstar, and he's Violet Shine's dad, so I don't know if he'll pick him as deputy. I feel like Root Spring might end up being deputy, honestly. Even though Root Spring is his grandson, so it's like, whatever. Whatever. I like Root Spring. You enjoyed that Super Edition? I don't really remember that much about that Super Edition, to be honest, Amber. He hasn't really ever had time to shine after a Super Edition. I remember when his Super Edition came out and I was like, who the heck is Hawkwing? Because you had never really seen Hawk. I think he's mentioned in, like, Ravenpaw's novella before that. But he's, like, not mentioned at all until his Super Edition. It was, like, one of the first times they made a Super Edition about just some random nobody cat. Yeah, I actually don't think I read any other book series, but I read other books by, like, other authors, but a lot of them are, like, mystery novels. Like, I like Dean Koontz. And I don't know. feel like that's the only other author that I'll, like, look out for books that he writes. Otherwise, I'll just go to the library or something and pick out something that interests me. Yeah, Billy Storms passed away in, doesn't he pass away? No, he doesn't pass away off screen, but he passes away, like, off screen to leave Star. It's, like, very tragic. Hey Crystal, welcome, welcome. I did read Wings of Fire. That was the latest book series that I read, like a full book series of. When I was younger, I read like Lemony Snicket, Little House on the Prairie. I read so many book series when I was little. Like, when I was in middle school, high school, I mean. But now I kind of just read, like, individual books. It was okay. I liked the first 2 arcs, but the 3rd arc, I did not like that much. And it kind of sucked that it ended on, like, a series that was lackluster for me. I should have just stopped reading after, like, the 10th book or whatever. A 4th arc. Yeah, Amber, that's exactly how I felt. I actually, like, they're really quick reads. Like, I would read a book a day, basically. And that was, like, a book a day, and I was just, like, reading it on breaks and, like, at night, and, like, a chapter in the morning type of thing. The first arc's definitely my favorite arc. But the second arc was fine, because I liked the protagonist in the second arc, so, like, I still read it. But I didn't like any of the protagonists in the 3rd arc. They were just, like, either annoying to read, like, they'd be, I don't know. Or they just felt like plot devices. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like love triangles. But I really liked, I liked, Turtle. Okay, let's finalize these kitty cats. Yeah, I don't know how people animate the dragons. I've tried drawing them before, and I can't even draw them. Okay, I'm looking for Nettle Splash. Thank you. Yeah, I did like blue, which gave me hope for the third arc, but then it's like every single other character after Blue was not interesting at all. So it was like, ugh. The worst was when it was like the queen, the ice dragon queen. I hated listening to her freaking. I hated her point of view so much. It was so hard to get through that book. After the first few chapters, I just like, oh man, it's hard because you were coming off of the one dragon. I think the point of view before hers was like that really angry leaf dragon, and it's like everything that she did, she's just like, I hate this, I hate that, I hate this, I hate that. And so that was so tiring to listen to all the time. She's just like constantly angry. And then the next point of view is just exactly the same thing. Like, I don't care. I mean, yeah, there's like character development that happens like throughout the point of view where it's like not as annoying anymore, but you have to get through so many chapters of them being insufferable before they like actually learn, and it takes them forever to like learn their lesson. It's just like, oh jeez, I don't know. I feel like I was already kind of fed up with how, I don't know, there's just like too many really angry characters in the third arc. How long does it take to draw a warrior cat? It depends. Muckling protagonists usually take me like weeks to like actually settle on a design. Sometimes years. Like, I'm still thinking about I really want to redesign my Sunbeam, but I haven't, like, nothing has struck me as better than what I've come up with, but I'm not satisfied with what I came up with either. Swordtail. I don't even remember the names of the third arc characters. They were that boring. See ya, Amber. I remember Blue because that's an easy name to remember. I'm on Starlight. Oh my god. Twilight, Starlight, and Sunset are like some of the hardest books to reread. So I feel ya, Forest. Oh. Okay, I know who you're talking about, Kaya. Yeah. That's the other thing that I hated, was that the character that I actually liked, Blue, literally gets, like, without being too spoiler, like, he is not in the last, like, half of the arc. And so it's, I mean, he's not really in any of the books after the first book. So that kind of, like, put me off. Like, he's literally not in any books afterward. Or he's, like, barely in them, at least. And I feel like in Wings of Fire, I don't like romance books. I'm not a romantic person. I don't care about any of them. Like, ever, really. I've never been like, ah, man, I can't wait to read the romance part of these books. And for Rings of Fire, it's like, if a character's in love, that's their entire personality. And I'm like, I hate you. Go away. Can you talk about something more interesting than, like, oh my god, when I look at this dragon, all I see is I can't stop thinking about them. I don't care. I don't care. And it's like, as the series went on, like, the worst book in the first series is freaking, and I was so disappointed in it because I remember when I was reading the series, I was always really interested in Starflight's point of view. I was like, oh man, I bet his point of view will be really interesting, because I was already kind of like, I don't think that the Night Wings can actually like tell the future and stuff, and I'm like, I can't wait to read his point of view. And when we finally got to his point of view, all he was thinking was Sunny. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? I was so disappointed. I was like, you're now like my least favorite character. Yeah, son, that's... I'm just like, dude, it's so disappointing. I'm gonna shrink him, I think. Actually, maybe I won't. No, I'm not gonna shrink them. I mean, honestly, I feel like in Warrior Cats, for some reason, I feel like in Warrior Cats it's not as in my face. Kaya? I mean, it is, obviously, like, see a sunbird. But I guess in Warrior Cats, there's always typically at least one point of view that isn't in love with anyone. So you always have, like, breathing room. Like, you always have at least one reliable point of view that you know is going to be, like... And that's always the point of view that's, like... That's always the point of view that carries the plot. It's the always getting together phase, like in Warrior Cats? Yeah. Oops, I'm on quick mask. Well, they're doing a pretty good job. Like, I also wish that they would explore more, like, familial relationships in Warrior Cats. But they're doing an okay job of it lately. Like, in the Broken Code, I felt like they did okay at, like, trying to involve the fathers in the relationships a lot more. Like, you had Tigerstar and you had Tree. And in A Starless Clan, you have the moms are getting a little bit more screen time. But I also feel like that's why after Shadow in A Starless Clan, like relationship-wise, I was like, oh my gosh. Because in Shadow, Frostpaw was like mooning over Splashtail, and then Nightheart and Sunbeam are like falling in love, and it was just like such a drudge to get through. I had like almost no hope for A Starless Clan after that, but then Thunder came out, and I was like, okay, this is better. Hey Gigi. You're happy? I'm kind of disappointed because I thought it was very obvious. I wanted them to go with something that was less obvious. But... do you like Warrior Cats? No, I hate Warrior Cats. I didn't realize Sun had a map coming out. I like don't keep up with maps at all right now. I'm just so busy. Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of projects now and I don't browse YouTube like I used to, so I don't get like recommended new projects in my like recommendation box. So I have to rely on like, I don't even know. Like I don't have, that's the thing is I don't have a reliable way to see when people open new projects. So by the time I see projects, they're like already almost done, or they've already gotten all their parts picked out and whatever. Although I've been thinking of putting my hand in making backgrounds again for projects. I'd like to collaborate with more people on production, pre-production of projects. Because I have like so many projects in my head that I feel like if I had another person on some of the projects to like help bounce stuff, ideas back and forth, it'd be easier for me to like put stuff out. I want to join more fanzines, but it's like that's another thing that I don't have any good, like, I never join, like, I never see zines until they're freaking finished because I don't know where people are sharing these. And I wish more people would, like, sneak into my DMs and, like, advertise stuff to me. Or, like, I don't know. I'd say I wish that there was, like, a Twitter that was dedicated to, like, posting open collaborative projects in the Warriors fandom, but there probably is. And if it was a Twitter, I wouldn't even see it anyway because I don't go on Twitter. So, everything is awful. Okay, I just gave him little butt freckles. Yeah, Kaya, there are a lot of those type of blogs in other fandoms. So I assume Werecuts has them. Hey, Manuela. Like, I also have ideas for designs as well. But it's like, I don't know the first thing about hosting designs, so. Shrug emoji. Yeah, some people advertise map servers for new projects. That's how I found Next Up Forever. Because Rook advertised it in the StarClan Chosen Discord, and I was like, okay. I joined. See, I want to join a server, another Discord server, just for that. I don't know. I hate that we're like switching to Discord where it's like kind of it's a private thing. I wish that there was somewhere public. I don't know. I'm a boomer. Who is this? Lichenfur, that's it. Yeah, that's probably true, Kaya. I don't understand how, like, what's the... Do people typically, like, if they're selling physical copies of the Zines, does the host typically just, like, donate all that money, like, I would assume, to, like, a cause? Okay. I mean, yeah, you can, Melissa, but I'd be worried that people would, like, call you out on it. Split the profit with the artist. I feel like I would love to find a way to... Not that I'm against charity or anything, but I would love to find a way to split the profit with the people that actually drew it, you know? Taxes. Do I like Swiftpaw? I guess. I never really had an opinion on Swiftpaw. Really. When do you read Leopard Star's Honor? I think... Realistically, you could probably read Leopard Star's Honor after the first arc and reading Crooked Star's Promise. Like, you could probably read it after those two books. Because I don't think anything happens in it that's, like, spoiler for anything else. Chronologically, you should probably read it after The Darkest Hour. Because I think the Leopard Star's Honor goes up to The Darkest Hour. But it happens concurrently with the whole first arc and, like, the last half of Crooked Star's Promise. Yo, first Nifty stream. Welcome, Wormicide. I just need to... Yeah, Rappy, because it happens... Well, I mean, the prologue of Leopard Star's Honor is a scene in The Darkest Hour. So you probably should not read it until you read The Darkest Hour. Because you will get spoiled for what happens in The Darkest Hour in, like, the literal prologue. Yeah, I would save it until after you finish The Darkest Hour, like all of the first series. But then if I was really telling you to save it so you won't get spoiled, I would save it until after Crooked Star's Promise. So, shrug. But if you're reading it in chronological order, then you should have already read Crooked Star's Promise before The Darkest Hour. Okay, yeah. I think Crooked Star's Promise is probably the book right after you finish reading Tall Star's Revenge. Or are you using the wiki to, like, read them in chronological order? Because the wiki has the books in, like, chronological order. Actually, Yellowfang's Secret is what you should see. But they put Leopard Star's Honor that you should read Leopard Star's Honor right after Blue Star's Prophecy, which I wouldn't do. But I mean, if you've already read the prophecies begin, then you can read. Yeah, they have Yellowfang's Secret before Crooked Star's Promise. You're in Forest Divided? That's a good book. My favorite book? I don't know if I have, like, a favorite book. There are quite a few books that I think are really good. Like, for what they are. Yeah, Rappy. So you've read the first arc, you said. So the prologue is like this like the Stonefur scene in The Darkest Hour where he's fighting Black Star. But after that it switches to Leopard Kit and then it goes through her life. This cat has such a human face. I hate it. This doesn't even look like a cat, but whatever. Just like an elder. Wait, what's your native language, Wormicide? That's crazy that they, like, didn't even translate, like, a full arc. Oh, Lithuanian. Yeah, I guess that they probably... I honestly didn't even know that they released, like, Latvian, Estonian, or Lithuanian, like, translations. That'd probably be good, Rappy. You could probably do that. I definitely skipped the prologue, though. What's a tip for drawing cats? Other than references, which everyone says, because it's true. You should definitely use references. Sometimes when I, like, stylize cats, I tell people, like, don't be afraid to make them look, like, ugly. Not as an ugly, like, this cat right here, this is Lichenfur, and she's really old and cranky, and I wouldn't call her a pretty-looking cat. So I made her ugly. But she's not, I don't feel like she's, like, ugly in that, I don't know, she's just not, like, the prettiest cat I've ever drawn. You read faster in English? That's kind of crazy. I definitely still read faster in my native language than like any of the other languages I've learned. I wish I could get to that point. I bet if I like lived in Japan and actually was like consistently using Japanese every day, I'd probably start to get pretty fast at reading it, but I don't think I'd ever get faster than like how I read in English. Leafstar is still alive. She is the oldest leader alive right now. Now that I'm an adult, my very first Warrior Cats MS Paint AMC. I even got Windows Movie Maker for it. I salute you, and I am ready to see this. You better link it to me when you're done, Ormasai, because I need more MS Paint AMVs made in the 2020s in my life. No, Lettuce. I think actually she's only narratively he's only lost like 2 lives. Of course, I think only Missy Star had only lost like 1 or 2 lives and then she just like keeled over. Let me check exactly. But I want to say that she's only lost like 2 lives. Let's check. Yeah. She lost 1 in SkyClan's Destiny, and she lost 1 in Hawkwing's Journey. They are totally gonna pull a Misty Star on her. It's hard to tell how old she is because she doesn't have a specified age. She's just like an adult cat in Firestar's Quest. I kind of imagine her probably about the same age that Firestar is. So that would make her like 13 or something. Let me check. I think the youngest that she could be is like Brambleclaw's age. Which would make her like 10. I think that's the youngest she could be, is like 10. Yeah, Rappy, they do. Tall Star succumb to old age. My unpopular opinion is that I don't think Bramblestar is that bad of a leader. Okay. Here's another cat that's like really ugly. Ankle. Oh, hey, Allie. I commend you for that, Rappy, because I feel like it's gotten pretty out of control. I feel like people should be able to, like, not be hated on for liking a specific character. Like, yeah, my least favorite character is Moth Flight, but I'm not gonna, like, hate on somebody if it's their favorite character. I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, she's not for me. Advice for drawing background layouts: definitely start broad and try not to, like, get into the details too much while you're, like, putting thumbnails out. 'Cause of her book, Rappy. I just don't like how she was written in her book. And it was like they were kind of forced to make her look like that, like, to write her like that, and it's just like an unfortunate circumstance of her. I really don't think kids are looking into that much, Seagull. When I was a kid and I was reading Cats, all I thought about was hee cats. Like, I'm not taking any moral grandstandings from Cats. Yeah, and that's fine, Rappy. I'm not gonna, like, hate you over it because I don't like a character that you like. I don't care. That's kind of like a part of being an interesting human being, is having different likes and dislikes as another person. I don't even really know Wormicide because I try to stay out of the community now because it is a lot of, like, younger people, and I'm just like, most of the time I just can't really vibe that well with younger people. But I'm sure there are groups out there for people. Like, the people that I talk about with Werecats, it's typically just like a one-on-one thing with, like, old community friends that I know is not going to take anything that seriously. Yeah. Like, I have quite a couple in real life friends that I just talk about Werecats with when we're, like, getting lunch or something. That's not a good look, Melissa. You might wanna... I don't know. If you don't like them, then why are you, like, still friends with them, I guess? Yeah, that's how I feel, Kaya. Yeah. That's why people always ask me, like, hey, do you have a Discord or something? Like a quote-unquote Nifty-Senpai Discord. I'm like, no. Because I haven't really ever had a good experience in a Discord that has more than, like a dozen people or something like that. Actually, that's a lie. I have had good experiences, but it's very rare. And to have like a public, like anyone can join Discord, I just feel like you're just asking for it to like go up in smoke. The parasocial relationships. Yeah. I definitely have people that frequent this stream that think like that, Kaya. I try not to take it, like... I mean, they're probably, like, 9 or 10, you know? Like, very young. Yeah, Seagull. But it's like you always see so much drama about like these public discords that like I don't know. I don't know. I definitely would not be acting enough to like foster a community in a Discord that I would be proud of. Like I'm just not active enough. Yeah, Lettuce, that's also how I feel. Making friends as an adult is hard. I mean, it can be, but like workplace friendships are some of the like literally like born through fire, trial by fire. Some of them are like the best relationships. I don't know. Even if you're like yeah. Discord is pretty good for networking sometimes as well. Yeah, Lettuce. I don't know. I feel like whenever there's like a successful communication platform, it just like, it almost just monopolizes. Like, everyone used Skype. There was like no alternative to Skype. And then all of a sudden everyone switched to Discord. And then it's like, there's not really any good alternatives to Discord. I mean, I guess there was like Telegram and stuff. But Telegram... I've always associated Telegram with like more suspicious actions. Mostly because it's like the amount of encryption that goes into Telegram and stuff like that is like insane. And some people use Telegram for suspicious activity. Amino. I still remember when everyone was making the Amino ads. Oh my god. I never made one. don't know. I remember I got that offer that was like, hey, can you, we'll pay you money to promote our app. And then I looked it up and I was like, I hate this app. I ain't taking your money. I was like, I don't care. Go away, please. Is it still going? I don't even know what Amina was trying to be. How much they offered? Probably only like $350 or $400 for like a minute-long ad. I didn't read like the fine print. I'm sure that it was like, and that video has to be like 5 minutes long, and it has to stay up on your channel for like at least 6 months before you can remove it. You know, there's probably fine print. But I want to say it was probably like $300, $350, $400, something like that. It definitely wasn't higher than 400. And that was like when my channel was really hopping. That was in 2015 or something. But yeah, I can disclose it because I never signed an NDA with them because I never took their offer. I have never took a sponsor except for the Warrior Cat store. I remember that I accepted, it wasn't a sponsor though, it was just, hey, we'll give you free stuff if you like tweet a picture of it. And I was like, okay. I want free Warrior Cat stuff. Yeah, so I got that Warrior Cat swag. I think that's the only thing that I've ever, like, actually accepted through email. The fourth apprentice speed paint? Which one? Didn't I do like 4 fourth apprentice speed paints? 2? I did at least 3, right? So the writing was like TikTok poetry. I don't get that reference because I've never used TikTok sequel, but... Poster one? Like the one that's like 3 Wolf Moon? The free mini Firestar and the I Am Scourge cert. Woof! I have the mini Firestar, both of them. Okay, one sec, I gotta rest my hand. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Rise of Scourge manga came out. Wait, does that mean that Brick has like a full... I gotta see what their new colors are. Brick. Wow! Wait, Brick's a Tom now? When did this happen? Gray Stripes Vow. Oh my gosh, this is like legitimately how they colored this? Why do they look like... Who colored these? This is like the quickest lasso tool coloring I've ever seen. Why does Thistleclaw look so much worse? Okay, everybody, I need to show you this. This is what Thistleclaw used to look like. In, like, the original books, right? Like, I always thought this was really cool how, like, his face was, like, kind of, like, white and, I don't know, like, super awesome looking. And, like, he had that front paw that was kind of weird, and I don't know, he looks really interesting. This is what they changed him to. Hold on. I mean, he looks fine. It just looks like somebody just used the lasso tool to like recolor him, and they took out like all of his like the personality. You guys see what I'm talking about? Why did they do this to him? He's not striped. Like, when has he ever been striped? This is what the color looks like? Wait, hold on. Let's see what they did to Tigerstar. Yeah, it's like he's just a boring cat now. Like, this is... Oh, man. They did it to freaking Tigerstar, too. Oh, this is horrible. Who colored this? Okay, this is what Tigerstar looks like in the original, right? I always, like, really appreciated just how, like, raw he looks. Like, I don't know. I really liked how they did, like, the stripes and everything. This is what he looks like in the colored version. They, like, took away all of it. Like, they didn't even... Did they have to, like, redo all the lines? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Yeah, this is horrible. What is this? This looks like I colored it in Adobe Flash. No, that's Tigerstar or Tiger Paw or whatever. Like it straight up looks like it's stupid. Wait, hold on. I don't know. This is so bad. Wait, isn't Blue Star? Yeah, Blue Star's in this book. What'd they do to Blue Star? Blue Star looks okay. Actually, I lied. I hate this. Who did they get to color this? This is what she looks like. Like, this legitimately looks like something I would have made in Adobe Flash in, like, 2013. This is crazy. Done by fans for exposure vibes. It really does. It straight up reminds me of like Adobe Flash. Look! Look at this! Do you guys see this? Do you see this? The fill tool? Oh my god. You guys. Do you see this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, it's right here too. Oh no. Oh my gosh. How fast did they push this out? I feel so bad for the artist. Look at this right here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. This one is too small to tell. Now I'm gonna have to buy this book and I'm gonna have to point out all the speed paint. No. Anyway. Yeah, now I just feel bad for the artist because you know that artist had like a week to color that entire comic. That's true, Seagull. God. That poor artist. Probably did the best that they possibly could. It straight up reminds me of when I would get into a map project and I would get like the last part that just got dropped and I would seriously sit down and animate the entire part in like an evening. That's how it reminds me. And then you don't have enough time to like actually sit and comb over it. I think it's probably done on Adobe Illustrator because it looks straight up like vectored lines. But then you have the fill. Wait, Toon, you have to see this. Toon's in here. Toon will understand. We were looking at close-ups of the Rise of Scourge manga, and I have to show you this. Because I was like, oh my gosh, this looks horrible. Like, they took away all of the... So here's Tigerstar, right? He looks pretty good. I kind of like the... I don't know. I like the design. I like the design of the stripes. It feels interesting. This... It just gets worse and worse when you see this one. This is the new one. Right? Look at it. It's horrible. It looks like it was done with, like, Adobe Animate. Like, lasso tool, whatever. Upon closer inspection, Toon will understand. Upon closer inspection, we have discovered. This is an actual comic page. We have discovered the fill lines. Do you see them? Because they're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. There are fill gaps. There are everything. This is the real recolor. There is a way. We have just discovered this. And I have decided I now have to buy this recolor and point out all of the fill lines. Oh yeah, the purple shading is like, it just looks... I don't know who colored it, but they weren't paid enough because they obviously had to color this in like a week. It's so bad. It's just so bad. They took away all the personality, and they did that to all the tabbies. Like, they did that to the Soul Claw, too. But, yeah, that just happened. You have a PDF? Well, I was gonna get it anyway, because I like to have every Warrior Cat book, because I'm a capitalist scum, I guess, consumer. But I haven't bought it yet, so maybe I won't. That's because it is Persona Music mispick. It always has been. It straight up looks like, it reminds me of my art in like 2014. Like the way they colored it. And then that's in a negative. That's not like so nostalgic the way they did this. But it was like, in 2014, I just cared about pushing out stuff as fast as I could. Because I was working on so much stuff. I've been working on this since December, but I took a really long break from it. I'd say I've probably been working on it for like 3 weeks. But not that many hours. I don't know. like, I sketched it out in December, but then I had, like, this whole entire hospital thing. I didn't draw forever, and yada yada yada, blah 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 blah, whatever. Life. You ate it a week ago? It tastes like salted caramel. That's so true. The size of the canvas? I don't know. Because it's 12 by 18 inches, 300 dpi. So I'm not sure. They're SkyClan cats, Munchkin. Right now I'm working in I try to stay in CMYK for these ones because I want to print them out. So the cats on the top cliff are done. So if you want to know who they are, specifically, this is Mint Fur. This is her brother Sage Nose. This is Sparrow Pelt, and this is Petal Nose. Ebony Claw. Nettle Splash, Lichen Fur, and Tangle. Yeah. Move to Kurita. I've never drawn in Kurita, but I know some people have actually, like, recommended it. I think for, like, animating? Who's up next? Here, I'll show you more. There's a lot of cats. Yeah, King swears by it. King of Cabbages. They're gonna have to stay. I don't know. I probably made them opacicized. This is Bird Wing, but she's Bird Paw. This is Harvey Moon. This is Freckle Wish. Wasp Whisker, Echo Song, Cloverfoot, is that her name? Clover Fur? I don't remember what her, Clover Tail maybe? I think it's Clover Tail. Follow Song, Patchfoot, MacGyver. This is Plum Willow and Sandy Paw, Sandy Foot, whatever. They're in the blog link is in my description, Rappy, of the video. It's like warriorsproject.tumblr.com. Creek Feather, Rabbit Leap, I believe. This is Honey Fur. I'm trying to remember all of them. Tiny Cloud, Rockshade, and Bounce Fire. Cherry Fall, Sharp Tooth, Billy Storm. This is Storm Kit, Harry Kit, and Fire Kit. Leaf Star, Soul, Egg, and Shrewtooth. So many cats. And I've only finalized 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. I wish I would have taken the time to learn 3D, at least like enough to be able to utilize like really basic 3D like layouts to help me with background work. And by like really basic, I mean just figuring out exactly what I have to draw in like a background. Theolitis. He a seagull? Is Blender like the 3D animation program that like people learn on? Like, is it like the most beginner friendly one? Or is it like Maya or something like that? He looks like how he did in the Everything Smooths map. Yeah, it's almost like it's the same design. Crazy! Conspiracy. It's the most popular one. Yeah. I feel like I hear Maya and Blender. Ooh. I hear Maya and Blender like the most. Whenever people talk about like animation programs. Oh, Blender's free? I didn't know that. Isn't it free until you're like making you're using it to make commercial products? Like, don't some game companies get in trouble because they start making like indie games using Blender, and it's like you're not allowed to use Blender to make like a product that you're making money off of unless you've paid for a subscription? I vaguely remember that being like drama at one point. I know that there's some sort of like game thing. I have no idea, Kaya. I just remember that being like a thing. I remember hearing about it on like because I watch a lot of YouTube videos just like on deep dives of random stuff, and I feel like one of them was like on this game company that was like a Kickstarter scam where they never really updated their people and they kept promising bigger and bigger things, and when they like live streamed some of the work on their game, they were like using the free version of like an animation software, like a rigging software, and they streamed themselves actively working on assets for this game on that software. Oh, Unity maybe. Yeah, I feel like Unity was probably the thing. Unity's only used... I thought Unity was like a game engine software, though. Can you actually do rigs and stuff in Unity? I guess you probably can create assets in Unity. I just feel like it'd be easier to create assets in like a program that's specifically designed to create 3D assets. But maybe not Unity is. I don't know. YouTube always recommends me like the weirdest videos. Like, they'll show me a deep dive on a video game that I absolutely would never have heard of, would never have played. It'll be like some game where like you're in the solar system and you're like flying a spaceship and it's like a MMO and it's like got super realistic spaceship controls, and I was like, why are you showing, like, I don't, but then I'll watch it because it's interesting. But I'm like, I've never heard of this game before and never will play it. I do get mobile ads. I freaking keep getting this mobile game ad that's got like, it's like a censored version of some lady that's like, I don't know. It's just like, dude, stop giving me this ad. You're making me uncomfortable. Yes, I get those. I think it's because I'm like, I watch Twitch a lot, so I get a lot of like mobile game ads, because, you know, Twitch advertisers are obviously going to be like game advertisers. But then I get ads that are obviously targeted towards like 13-year-old boys or something like that. I'm like, Twitch, do better. They have been quite questionable recently. And it's like, what did I watch? Because I feel like I don't let Google track my, like, I don't do personalized ads because I don't want Google to like have more information that they can sell about me, you know? I'm like, you're already making so much money from me posting videos on YouTube. I'm not gonna give you any more ways to make money off of me. So I turn off personalized ads. So I just get like the most random ads. Also, I'm not even convinced that when you turn off personalized ads, they like actually stop tracking you. Like, I'm pretty sure they're like, okay, we won't track you, smiley face. Well, we're probably just getting the ads from, like, they're probably watching the demographic of, like, the video. But I'm like, I feel like I watch, like, I don't know. I do watch some random videos that's, like, probably mostly dudes watch these videos. Like, I like watching the restoration videos where like some guy will have like a really rusty Nintendo DS or something and like restore it to be working condition and it looks like brand new. I really like those videos. But those are like the type of videos that I get like mobile game ads on, and I'm like, it's literally a guy working on like in a workshop. Like repairing like an old ice cream maker. What about this makes you think I need a mobile game? Hey, Bigelow. Why am I zoomed in? Yeah. One of my favorite restoring guides, it's like, he can like un-yellow the Nintendo DS's or like Nintendo Wii's, and I was like, whoa, witchcraft. Crazy. But they're just so relaxing, and it's so satisfying to like watch old things get restored. Yeah. YouTube has lately been trying to like recommend me more of those like so satisfying to watch type videos. Like they're trying to get me to watch like carpet cleaning videos, but they just don't hit. They don't hit my satisfaction enough, you know? I don't know. The carpet cleaning videos don't do it for me. The sand blasting off rust does it for me. The scribble kibble? I don't know what that is. Yeah, the carpet ones are a hit or miss. I was watching, there is one thing that YouTube recommended to me the other day that I was like, there's no way that I'm actually gonna find this satisfying. But I was watching it and I was like, wow. It was this YouTube channel of this guy that's like a professional Sudoku player. So like, Sudoku is like a, it's like a game, like a number puzzle game you can play. I don't know if you guys know what Sudoku is, but it's like a logic puzzle. And they recommended me this YouTube channel, this guy that's like a world champion Sudoku player, and he like solves really hard Sudoku puzzles. And he is like so good at explaining, I don't know. He's like so good at explaining like his logic behind like how he solves these like seemingly impossible puzzles that it's just like so satisfying to listen to him like explain it to like as he's doing it. And he gets like really excited when it's like he's like, oh, this is so beautiful, like how it's put together to make you think like this. And I was like, you're right, dude, it is beautiful. I was like, you go, dude. I'm so proud of you. He's like really good at like explaining it to you so that you're following along and you're like, oh yeah, I could have totally figured that out too, by the way. The quality of the internet has plummeted dramatically recently. That's pretty generous to say that it only plummeted recently. Yeah. It's really, it's like, it's really uplifting to see someone that's like really excited about something. I'm like, I'm excited for you. Within the past 5 years. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that reaction channels and like 3 a.m. channels were people previous to the last 5 years. And then we had people like, mine, like less than 3 or like equals 3 or whatever that was pretty bad in like 2009, and then we had the annoying orange. Wait, AI narrated voices started becoming a thing? See, I guess I don't watch those videos, but I'm like one of those people that I watch like the police interrogations and stuff. I guess, can you tell if it's like an AI narrated thing? Like, I remember like a lot of the Reddit, are you talking about like you can legitimately tell like it's just like the regular Microsoft voice Philo, or are you talking about like the deep fake AI narrations? I remember I was watching this one documentary on some dude that was dead, but he like was not a good person, and I think that they like fed his voice into an AI thing to like read his manifesto, and it was very uncomfortable for me. And so like if you're talking about that, then I understand. But I feel like the like just Microsoft bin or whatever it's called voices have just been always around. I feel like most of the time when I find channels that are like AI narrated, like I find that eventually they switch to their own voice. Like I know one of the channels that I follow, I think he recently just hit 100k subscribers. But his first couple videos were AI voices, because I went back in his catalog to find like them. And before he switched over to just doing like narration on his own, he had it's like an AI narrating, and I couldn't watch those videos. Oh. It's a lot of deep fake voices. That's scary. Ooh, that's scary. I feel like you gotta be on the lookout for for channels that were made in like after 21, because the AI voices got really good after a specific, I don't remember exactly when it was, but there's definitely a time. I'm also not a fan of my own voice, Kaya. I think that's like that's a pretty like common, I think that's pretty common for you not to like the sound of your own voice. It's mostly because it's just different when you're hearing it recorded versus when it's coming out of your head. Like when it's coming out of your head, you sound a lot deeper, and I don't know. Whenever I hear my voice in recordings, I always sound like I'm actually 13. And I'm like, how do I stop? Google, how do I not sound like a 13-year-old? And everyone kind of believes it's someone else when it's just AI. Now I'm like thinking if I've seen any videos that are like actual AI, do they still like just speak gibberish? Look at this cat. This cat is doing something unexpected. Just watch. Like, when you said that, Velo, I'm like, oh man. I feel like I might know exactly what you're talking about. Now you got me thinking. They say things. If you watch any of the Reddit AITA videos, it's being narrated by AI. I don't think I watch any of those. What's AITA? I am the asshole. Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched those videos. I thought it was just text-to-speech, but I'm sure that it used to just be text-to-speech. Like, there used to be so many channels that were just text-to-speech Reddit stories. That's what I thought Vila was talking about, but I'm sure that they've like upped their game because like the AI voices have become so common that it would just be easy to switch from a text to speech to just like an AI generated like Taylor Swift or something. You've recognized being used for the narrations? That's spooky. Yeah, I could imagine them using like Markiplier or somebody. Identity theft is not a joke. Jim. Where's the nursery warriors den leaders den? I'll tell you. This is the medicine cat den. This is the nursery. This is the apprentice den. This is the elders den. This is the leader's den. And this is the warrior cat den. And then this is the rock that the leader uses to do gathering stuff. I don't know if you know this, but with AI, people are making mini teasers of Taylor Swift's new album and everyone is believing it's real. That's crazy. I mean, with the amount of streams I've done, I'm sure people could actually, like, make my voice online. It is crazy. Have you done the SkyClan camp in the forest territories? Like, are you talking about the really old camp? Like, Clear Sky, Cloudstar camp? I have not done that one. I don't really plan to, just because it almost has, like... I tried looking it up, but there's absolutely, like, no description of it, like, anywhere, except for in Firestar's Quest. There's a little bit of description of it in Cloudstar's Journey, but it's not enough to, like, for me to form a clear picture on it. It's just, like, kind of an enigma. And it seems crazy because it's literally a camp that a point of view takes place in. Like, Clear Sky's point of view should have plenty of discerning, like, descriptions of the camp. But there's, like, nothing. At least not anything on the wiki of it. Like, there's a camp page on the wiki that has descriptions and, like, of all of the camps. And when you look at, hold on. go to the camp page. Is there a small trickle of water inside it? So, in ancient SkyClan, the only description of it is it's surrounded by brambles. On one side is a hazel bush. Brushkill is underneath an elderflower tree. There's a tree stump in the center that cats sun themselves on. The leader sits on a thin branch of a gnarled thorn tree. The apprentice den is beneath some ferns. The medicine cat den is lined with branches that moonlight shines through. The leader's den's underneath an elderberry bush, and the elder's den is underneath some bushes. And it's like... Yeah, but it's not, though. Clear Sky's camp is not the gorge, or like the ravine. Because Thunder finds the ravine in a forest divided. So I'm not sure where Clear Sky's camp is. Let me look. There's like no good pictures of it. Maps. Here. Yeah, I could make up a new camp, but I'd prefer... The other thing is, like, who am I gonna... Like, is there anyone in the ancient SkyClan camp that's, like, legitimately worth me drawing a picture for? Other than Clear Sky, but Clear Sky is in my Four Trees camp, because my Four Trees illustration is during Dawn of the Clans, so I'm like... I just don't really care. Like... And the amount of SkyClan cats, so if I drew SkyClan's old forest camp, I'd have to draw it probably during, like... I'd probably draw it during Thunderstar's Echo, because that's after... Thunderstar's Echo has the most amount of cats in Ancient SkyClan. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But there's only 14 cats. Which seems like a lot of cats, but none of them are like younger cats. So it'd all be just like regular sized cats. There'd be no like, I don't know, it's just not worth it. It is free real estate, but I don't know. I just don't really care enough. Like, I'm making SkyClan in the Gorge, and I'm making SkyClan at the lake. Like, SkyClan's gonna have 2 camp picks, just like every other clan. So. And then the Dawn of the Clans cats will get the love during the Four Trees drawing. Yeah, and it's like there's just other illustrations I'd rather do. You got weirdly attached to them? Oh, okay. I thought you said you drew the... For some reason, I thought you said I drew Clear Sky's camp. Like a design for it, and then you got weirdly attached to it. And I was like, send me a picture? But yeah. No, I like the cats that are in Clear Sky's camp. Like, they're all good. Like, you've got Starflower, which is, like, funny. You've got Sparrow's Fur. You have, Birch and Alder. But it's like... I don't know. I don't have any plans. I feel like if I was gonna draw... And then I feel like if I wanted to draw like SkyStar's, like Clear Skies camp, then I'd want to draw everyone else's camp in Dawn of the Clans, and I am not up for that. I'm drawing the Dawn of the Clans characters at their gathering in the first gathering under a full moon that happens in Path of Stars. So that's enough for me for those cats. And I'll have all my cats that I like from Dawn of the Clans in that picture. And I can sleep happy. Is all the cat... Wait, are they on your... So, are these cat designs that are on your blog already, Velo, or are they, like, way back when you were drawing them or whatever? I don't know how many times you've drawn cats throughout the years. Okay. 2016. Man, that's, like, ancient. It was 8 years ago. Yeah, I will, Rappy. I actually have one of the lake camps already, like, sketched out. At least partially. I don't know which one I'm gonna do after the Gorge, because I had 2 sketched out in the works before I even started this picture. So, I'm not sure which one I'll do next. Oh, thank you. I want to see the old art. I like people seeing. Okay, we've got Falling Feather. Oh, so this is like before the first battle. Doing that all. Leaf, Thorn, Dew, Nettle, and Fur Cone. I like Quick Water. I like Clear Sky. Is that just my Clear Sky design? Maybe. Maybe. Clear Sky is like basically royalty. All my designs are like royalty free at this point. I'm like, I don't care. They're royalty free warrior cats. You know that Kevin MacLeod person that like everyone uses their songs for because they're like royalty free and he doesn't like go after copyright abuse? That's me with my warrior cat design. So many archives only go back to around I mentioned between. I don't feel like I've deleted a lot of my old art. I definitely cleaned up a little bit of it on my DeviantArt days. But most of it I just like put in archives. I didn't like purely delete it. Like some of it's like like hidden from public view. Cause you could do that in DeviantArt. You used to be able to like archive stuff. And like put them in storage, but like keep them around. Hi, BB. I, for one, don't like deleting my drawings. I like seeing my really bad artwork from like 2009 and then being like, wow, wasn't that bad? I'm glad I can understand that this is bad now. It is fun to look back as well. I kind of miss when people would do like, people used to do way back in the days, like 2009, 2010, people would do compilation videos of like their art during that year. So like, I have a few videos, it's like my drawings from 2009, my drawings from 2010. And I love those videos. I wish I still did them, but I definitely do not draw as often as I used to. Like, I don't push out as much art anymore. When you're a kid and you have all the time in the world, you can push out so much art. I feel like my video would be like 10 seconds long. Good. I'm glad people still do that. I think those are great ways to like have a time capsule of your art. Yeah, see, I feel like I don't even make enough art now to be like, to do the year in review, like 2024, these are the pictures I drew. Because sometimes I'm working on a picture for like 3 months. So it's like, what am I like, am I just supposed to make that, like, the image for 3 months of my life? Yeah, until I didn't draw often enough. I feel like that just always ends up happening, sadly. Like, I probably could have done the year in review the year that I did all of the Warrior Cat designs, because I was pushing out those, like, every day. But the only problem was is that I had them on a queue, so I wasn't really sure which designs I did per month. Sometimes my queue would be like 30 or 40 cats long. You want it in Flash with crap mics. I could probably still do that. Honestly, with how much I know about Flash now, I could probably push out an Omen of the Stars episode in Flash in like 2 weeks. One take. I don't care how crappy your mic is. But you gotta be serious. You can't just give me a mean voice acting. You gotta at least try to give me something to work with. I always wanted to do like a River Ripple animation of like his backstory in Thunder. Even, I mean, it got like revamped in Super Edition, but I say that it would only take me like 2 weeks, but it would probably take me like at least 3 months. I'm trying to think of how long it took me to do the Dark Path Chosen. Actually, I can tell you. Dark Path Chosen... Let's see. I remember I posted a teaser when I had just started working on it on DeviantArt. So I will tell you. Give me a second. I was working on Omen of the Stars for forever. But the Dark Path Chosen didn't take me that long. Okay, here was my initial concepts. I posted on February 5th. So the beginning of February in 2014. The final video was posted... Yeah, below. The final video was posted on July 6th. So February, so the beginning of February to the beginning of July. That's how long it took me to animate the Dark Path Chosen video. I keep hitting the mic, I'm sorry. So that's what, February, March, April, May, June, July. So yeah, it took me 5 months to animate that whole thing. That's crazy. I don't know what I was on during that time of my life, but I could animate, like, so freaking fast. Nah. I remember specifically because okay, this is like, it's not TMI, but so January of 2014 is when I dropped out of my first college because I got hit with the hashtag depression. And so when I got hit with that is when I like reverted back into like the Warrior Cats fandom because it was like a comfort blanket. So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna like do an episode. I did the Dark Path Chosen while I was like super depressed. And I wasn't even in college or anything, so I had so much free time. The Warrior Cat relapse is real. And so that's probably why it only took me like 5 months, because I was literally working out. That was the only thing I was doing. Actually, that's not true, because I think I was also doing like the Warrior Cat design blog during that time. But before that, because I kind of like left the Warrior Cat community during like 2012 and 2013 because I was like really into Homestuck and then I got really into anime. So I was like, I don't want to draw cats, I want to draw anime. And so, but then I was like, actually I do want to draw cats again. And then that's when I like rejoined the fandom. And I don't feel like I've ever I've never really left the fandom ever since then. I've always been in it. So my Twilight years were like from 2012 to 2013. Where I like wasn't following the fandom at all. I mean, there are definitely times where I've taken a hiatus, or like, I mean, even right now, I'm like not really active in the fandom anymore, but I still like read Warrior Cats, yada yada, I've been caught up. And there's been times when I wouldn't consider it my main fandom, or my main community. But like, I don't know. I don't know. You haven't been actively recognized in the fandom since 2017. What happened in 2017? I was like pretty deep into Osomatsu at that point in my life. I definitely feel like the fandom shifted at some point in like I would say 2018. Like a huge shift happened. And then another huge shift happened in like I would say like 2020, 2021, when people started doing AU maps. That was like another time the animation community shifted a really lot. I feel like in 2018, the community shifted to do like very quick projects, like 48 hour, 24 hour, like tight deadline projects became a thing where people just like pooped out animations all the time. And I was in college, so I just couldn't like keep up with it. And I think after that happened, I kind of like stopped joining projects as often because I just couldn't like do any of the deadlines that people were like expecting. And back then it was like, I was one of those people that if you gave me a deadline, I would try my darndest to meet it. Because I work a lot better with deadlines. And so if you gave me a deadline that I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to meet this, then I wouldn't even join. Oh, wait, hold on. My chat froze. Open it. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like the 72 hours, like back in 2016-ish, like 72-hour maps, they were pretty rare. And people, like, expected you to get done in 72 hours. So when I took, like, a little hiatus because I was, like, busy with school and stuff, and I came back and people all of a sudden started doing 72-hour maps and, like, weekend maps and stuff like that, I was like, there's no way I'm meeting these, so I'm, like, not joining any projects. And then I just realized that people are just saying that now because they can. I was like, kind of weird. Five Giants. Five Giants was definitely the point in the fandom where people started to not take deadlines that seriously. Like, almost nobody made the Five Giants deadline. But before that, it's like, projects wouldn't necessarily get met by their deadline, but people got pretty darn close to the deadline, like, within, like, a couple months, you know? No, I don't believe Five Giants had a thumbnail contest. I believe that the thumbnail for Five Giants was just like some fan art. I don't know which one had the first thumbnail contest because I don't really like thumbnail contests that much because it's just like more decisions for the host to like disappoint people. I'm like, I already feel horrible when like people apply to get in my maps and I can't give them a part. But then I'm gonna feel extra horrible because then people are gonna do thumbnail contests where you get like 300 submissions for one part instead of like 300 submissions for like 30 parts. I don't know. But that's mostly just because I hate decisions that like leave people out. So I have never done a thumbnail. I've never done a thumbnail contest. I've always just asked a specific person to make a thumbnail. Not gonna lie, I kind of miss when people would just use a thumbnail from the actual video as the thumbnail. Like a still frame from the animation. Because I feel like sometimes people pick thumbnails because the art is really good and not because they're a good thumbnail. Does that make sense? Actually, I think you're right. I think it was a map. I think it did do a thumbnail contest because I specifically remember one of my buddies was like running. It was one of my like really. They weren't like popular or anything, but they had made a thumbnail like for the contest for the hold on one second. Yeah, but I remember Five Giants did have a contest because my friend was like running by like a thumbnail submission to me, and I thought it was an amazing thumbnail. Like, it was clean, it was simple. I felt like it had like the best composition, like makeup. Like it actually was good for a video labeled Five Giants, and then it didn't get picked. And I was like, that's when I kind of realized, I'm like, actually, the friend that had asked me how their thumbnail looked is the person that made the StarClan Chosen thumbnail. It actually comes full circle. I was like, you're gonna make a thumbnail and you're gonna actually get... Oh, yeah. I have that on my resume, Kaya. I have project management for, like, YouTube videos and stuff that are, like, from apps I've created. And then I have that stuff on my portfolio, too. Are you kidding me? Of course I do. It takes skill to manage that many people. Stop flickering? Yeah. And even if it, like, it's something that when you put on your resume, I feel like it's like, if you word it correctly, it can, like, pop out to somebody that's looking at your resume to be like, wow, this sounds interesting. I want to get an interview with them and ask them more about this, you know? Like, it makes you stand out. But I mean, it's exactly the same as people that like put 4-H or like Girl Scout stuff on their resumes when they're like applying to like college and stuff. Yeah, but that's why you have to kind of like play it up a little bit. Like, you don't have to say that it was a fan project. I mean, you don't even have to say, like, that it was an unpaid project on a resume. It's just, like, experience. Hey, Gib. Yeah. I mean, volunteer work can, like, really put you... Like, sometimes volunteer work makes, like, it's the most interesting work you do. Like, it can make you stand out from, like, another person. What's SAR? Star? Search and rescue. Oh, yeah, that would be great. Yeah. I mean, a lot of that volunteer stuff. Because you get experience from that. I mean, that's why people do internships and stuff that are unpaid, because it's still experience. So you working in a group of animators to get a project done and adhering to a deadline or collaborating with other people, those are all like skills that people are looking for on resumes. Like, good at collaboration, good with teamwork, good with project management, good at time management. Like, you can lay all those up. So that's the top of the cut. So there's cats on the bottom. Yeah, Kaya. Or you can even just do like graphic experience, like graphic design experience, creating calendars, or I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at like a portfolio is sometimes just as important as like a, I mean it is, I think it's more important as like a artist looking for a job than like your resume. Thanks, flickering. I'm gonna do a stretchy stretch where my shoulders are like what gets all my stress in my, when I'm drawing. Yeah. So you could just do like, that could just be like team, working in a team, working with others, stuff like that. Studying biology. I was so bad at biology. I don't think I ever got more than like a C in any of my biology classes. I'm out of coffee. Ugh. I'm gonna draw some more cats because I don't feel like drawing more of the background right now. Not the coffee. That's my second cup today. And it's 5 o'clock. I don't know if I should have another cup. I'll have some tea or something. Is Clovertail? Yeah, Clovertail's what I'm looking at. Final cliff cats. There are 153 layers in this picture at the moment. Actually, there's probably not, but that's how many layers I've created. It's scary that, like, Photoshop keeps track of that. Today, one of the residents turned 103 years old. That's really impressive. Real talk, does anyone here know what they would do if they lived to be 103? Like, what's your life at that point? Like, what are you thinking of daily? Hey, Night. I haven't answered your questions yet on Discord because I got really busy. Do you think you'll still think about, like, memes and, like, the internet and be like, I remember TikTok when I was your age? And then it'll be like, we live in virtual reality now, Grandma. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, what's gonna go out of style? Or it'll be like, Grandma, we don't even live on Earth anymore. Stop acting like we live on Earth. We live on Mars. And then every single day you forget that you live on Mars and you're like, oh my god, that's crazy. I remember when we couldn't live on Mars and people were shooting Tesla electric vehicles into space. And then they're like, that's great, Grandma. Take your medicine. And then it's like, as a grandma, I'm like, I want to listen to Smash Mouth or something. Back in my day, we didn't teleport. Hey, Lebach. Like, I want to know what's going to go out of style. Like, I specifically need to know. Like, is anyone gonna actually... Like, that's the other thing. So, my grandma and grandpa, they'll, like, listen to Frank Sinatra and all that stuff, you know? But no one listens to Frank Sinatra anymore, except for, like, during Christmas. Except for, like, old people. But it's, like... I listen to stuff from the 70s still. I don't consider that old. Like, when I'm listening to, I don't know, like, ABBA or something, I'm not like, ugh... I'm listening to grandma music. So it's like, at this point, the 70s is not vintage anymore for me. I'm still listening to it. So when does it come to a point where, I don't know, like AC/DC and stuff is going to be like a Frank Sinatra? Because I don't think it's going to happen. Because people still listen to like 80s music and stuff. But then it's like, well then when is like grunge rock from like 90s into 2000s going to be like Frank Sinatra core? Yeah. Well, I remember when people were like, "Oh man, I never thought that what is the music that like Deadmau5 does? What's it called? Where it's just like a bunch of random sounds put together." I don't remember. Now you guys are gonna make me look it up. Dubstep! Yeah, the wub wubs. Like, I remember when people were like, dubstep, that's like the music of the future, and it's just like a bunch of like, wub 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 wub. It's kind of fallen out of practice now, I feel like. No one really listens to dubstep anymore. Do they? I guess they probably do. Just shrink you a little bit. You listen to New Politics. Dubstep isn't very popular. Not a huge dubstep fan. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Kaya. I don't like the placement. Hey, little adventurous fox. I've seen the actor today. Yeah, I guess you're right. So this is like what, a post? Is this like the post-contemporary area of music where it's like anything goes? It's done right, it's done right. I don't know if I've ever heard dubstep done right. I've definitely heard dubstep in songs, but the whole song was not dubstep. You know? Like, for me, it's like kind of something that you would add as flavor. Like, I don't know if I would consider an entire entire song that was basically just like dubstep to be my type of music. I don't know, Fox. I have a couple of other, like, big illustrations in the works, but I haven't decided on what I'm doing next. There's so many genres of music now that sometimes I feel like they're kind of pointless. Like, sometimes I'll add a song onto my, like, iTunes or whatever, and it'll give it a genre, and I'm like, that is totally not the genre that I would have given it. Like, it'll give it, like, indie rock, and I was like, this is not indie rock. I don't know what you're on, because this is, like, obviously, like, folk alternative. I don't know. Maybe genres were always arbitrary. Yeah, I do want to touch up the moonpool drawing eventually. I also want to do a moonstone drawing. Yeah, that's how I feel cool. And then most of the time, whenever I find an artist I like, I only usually add, like, I only like their, like, first couple albums before they've, like, I don't know. I feel like as an I haven't really met an artist, or listened to an artist that as they kept going, I've liked their stuff more. I always feel like the first couple albums are always my favorite. Because they're usually, like, really out there, and they're not, like, they're, like, interesting. I don't know what I'm doing with her arm, because she's probably just holding them both like this. Probably just, like, bread. She's just loafing. Maybe her other arm's out. That's literally how I feel sometimes, Kaya. Except sometimes for me, it's like entire albums. Why is this arm giving me so much trouble? I feel like I should just simplify her and make her a loaf. I just said that. And then I was like, oh no, I won't loaf her. But I am. She's gonna be loafed. Warrior Clan? I don't have any plans for it yet. I don't really have any plans to do, like, any other groups except for the tribe. Like, I feel like if I do Warrior Clan, I'm opening myself up to doing, like, the sisters and the guardian cats and all this other stuff. People, the ones that I am possibly interested in doing would be, like... This is not Follow Song. This is Follow Fern, I believe. Yeah. The other groups I have that people have been, like, asking me to do the most is, like, Blood Clan. Oops, crap. But I have an idea for, like, doing the tribe during Dawn. So, like, I would be able to add, the cats from the New Prophecies in there, like, because my current plans for, like, the eras of each of the camps, I don't have any camps that would be happening during... I don't have any drawings happening during the New Prophecy currently. But if I did one with the tribe, then it could happen in Dawn. And then I could have cats like Hawkfrost and Stormfur and I don't know, other cat. And then I want to do, what is it called? Is it just called the island? Like the Gathering Island? Like where they have gatherings at the lake? Does that have a special name, like Four Trees? But I want to do that, during sunrise. Not sunrise. Yeah, sunrise. Like, I want to do it during the gathering where Hollyleaf spills the tea. Yeah, I think they just call it the gathering, like the island. I don't think that there's a special name for it. Yeah, they just call it the island. Unfortunate. Like they could have called it like the Great Oak or the Oak Island or something like that. I don't know. I made that too big. Oh, it's called Pine Island? Little Pine Island. It's up in the top left of the screen, Ivy. Photoshop. No need to full caps it. I'll have Briarlight in the ThunderClan Forest or the ThunderClan Lake. Yeah, because that's like the most common, and that's the most common question I get, Kaya. I literally put it on the screen because I get it so much. People can't read, though. Sad, but true. Baby Jared, 17 and not knowing how to read. Not a good size. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. I mean, I'm getting pretty tired, period, so I don't know how much longer I'll be able to go anyway. I've been going for about 3 hours, which is usually how much I can go when I'm only working on a single picture. Yep, I agree, Gib. I could be drawing the same picture on Clip Studio Paint, which is only a single purchase of $100 instead of Adobe Photoshop, which is like $40 a month if you buy it individually. I am drawing Follow Fern. She actually ends up deaf, like completely deaf, when they move to the lake. Like, she's still an elder, so she's still alive. She will, in fact, be in the next picture. She will be in the ThunderClan, or in the SkyClan Lake Camp. She is putting out the bedding to dry for the little tiny baby kittens. Oops. Yeah, Rappy, I'm gonna do 4 trees, the island, the, moonstone and the moon pool. I don't know how far I go out. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, I could probably make a pretty interesting, I could probably make a pretty interesting illustration of, like, sunning rocks. I don't know. There might be, like, an Android app for Photoshop. There's, like, definitely mobile apps for Adobe. I don't know if it would be called Photoshop. It's probably like Sketch or something. Yeah, I'm using Photoshop on a computer with a pretty beefy GPU. But the GPU is mostly for After Effects. You don't need as much like RAM or anything for Photoshop. The other illustrations I have planned are that aren't camps. Actually, I think those I mean, I want to do the tribe's cave, but that's also like a camp. That's just their cave. That could be interesting, Christy. Originally, I didn't want to do the moonstone because I felt like I had to, because I did the moon pool and it was like leaf pool discovering the moon pool, like leaf paw. And so I was like, I feel like I have to do moth flight discovering the moonstone. And I'm like, I don't really want to draw moth flight. But yeah, I could do like fire stars. The other one that I was thinking of doing is Firestar's leader ceremony. Like, I feel like that could go pretty well. I could probably pull that one off. Because if I did, well, now I'm just thinking about it, but if I did Firestar's leader ceremony, the way, here, let me do a quick thumbnail. Like, the way that I want to do the moonstone is, I'd probably do it this way, vertical, so that I could hang it with my, because my moonstone, or my moon pool one is like this. It's like a, kind of like that type of illustration where it's like looking up, and here's a waterfall. So I would want to do my moonstone one to be vertical too. So then I'd have like the moonstone, and then I'd have like, I don't know, Firestar could be like somewhere. This is the moonstone with like the light, blah blah blah. And then Firestar's like this. Something with Cinderpelt, like right here or something. And then I could like I could get jiggy with it and have like StarClan cats like right here being like, oh look, I'm StarClan cats. And they're like on the moonstone. And they're like the 9 cats that give Firestar his lives. I don't know. That's like the illustration I have in my mind for like the moonstone. We'll see though. I've already kind of done that illustration. Oh, I'll show you guys. Because I actually did a shot like that for a PMV that I was working on. Where did I put that? Right here? I actually might not have it on this computer anymore. I had to move all of my stuff off of like this Creative Cloud folder. But I did a similar illustration PMV frame with Windrunner, where it was like all the cats that give her 9 lives are like on the moonstone as she gets like resurrected. Okay, Gaia, I'll probably stop streaming after I finish coloring. Follow Fern here. As a heads up to everyone. Pat, pat, pat. Pat's the nest. Pat, 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 pat. I believe follow Fern is Fidget Paws Mom? I can't remember though. Which camp was the most difficult to visualize when reading the books? Of the ones that I've done illustrations for, or of ones of just like every single one of them? Like which one was the hardest for me to draw? Or like to come up with something interesting? The hardest for me to visualize is definitely the SkyClan Lake Camp. With the Wind Clan Lake Camp being a very close second. River Clans, at least you have that like little tour thing. Because I think it was in Secrets of the Clans where they like tour, quote unquote, the camps. Where it's like a cat's taking you around. Wind Clan is just hard for me to visualize, period. Because I feel like whenever I visualize them, my initial thought is that they're the most boring camp ever. Like, it's literally just like a circle of bushes. So for me to like actually visualize something interesting for them, I have to like think very hard about it. Like, Wind Clan was definitely the hardest camp to make an illustration of, because it's just like, they give you absolutely nothing to work with. Like, as the books have gone on, they give you less and less information to visualize with. Like, just comparing, like, how the Gorge, like, the SkyClan Gorge is, like, described in Firestar's Quest to, like, the description of the camp of SkyClan and, like, Lost Stars it's mind-boggling. Shadow Clan's hard for you to visualize? I don't know why, but I have never had a really hard time visualizing any of the Shadow Clan camps. Like, Shadow Clan's lake camp is actually the other, it's the lake camp that I have sketched out. ThunderClan's camp is always very easy for me to just, like, I've drawn them quite a bit, so I have, like, very clear ideas of the lake and forest ThunderClan camps. Yeah, the quest between the gorge and the lake is a very hard visualization. It's stupid because it's just hard to visualize anything outside of the lake because they're always going on quests outside the lake, and it always seems like they're leaving in the same exact area, but they're never going through the same exact places. Does that make sense? The tribe camp's hard for you to visualize. The tribe camp's actually one of the easiest places for me to visualize. But I think it's because I've gone caving and stuff, so like I know what caves look like. And actually, I really want to draw the Cave of Pointed Stones. Like maybe where it's like J Feather showing Half Moon the Cave of Pointed Stones, just because I have such a clear visualization of what that cave looks like. Like I have to get it out of my brain, basically. So I don't know, I guess that would be another one that I... You actually have an the easiest for you to visualize was the forest territory. Yeah, they just don't really describe environments or anything that much anymore. It's like one of the reasons why I like illustrating the environments like surrounding warrior cats, because they don't do it. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Screw you. Really? Here, let me show you what I think of when I think of the cave. I specifically think of this cave in... I specifically think of this cave in, Ohio. Even though it would be in the mountains. But this is... I'll show you. Actually, that's wrong. It's not in Ohio. It's, oh, goodness. Actually, there's a really good Russian illustration. Hold on, let me open up the warrior cats. There's a Tumblr that's like posts all the official art from like all over. It's called Where's Official Art. And let me look at the specific one I'm thinking about before I show you the other one I'm thinking about. Oh god, there's so many of them. It could be Mammoth Cave. I was thinking of Old Man's Cave. I mean, Mammoth Cave is what I think what I think it would look like in, like, inside. But Old Man's Cave, the entrance has, like, a little waterfall. Although the waterfall, I would assume in, the waterfall in the Tribe Cave is probably much, much bigger than like the Mammoth Cave waterfall, which is really, really tiny. Let me look up Russian Outcast. Look up Outcast. No, let's look up. There's a specific drawing that I think of. I think it might be Moonrise. It's a really cool illustration. But now that I'm thinking about it, of course I can't find it. But it's like them climbing the entrance to I'll turn on Well, we're almost done, but... But it's like them climbing the waterfall, and it's one of those old Russian illustrations that the, I'm just not sure where it is. I'll have to find it, and if I can remember on Thursday when I stream, I'll have to show you guys. I really want to draw this tribe one now. Like, I almost feel like that's the next one I want to do. Chronologically speaking, it makes sense that would be the next one I do, because that would be the smallest time skip. Would be just like doing Dawn during the tribe. So, I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes I just feel like sketching something out and getting it out of my brain. And onto a piece of paper. Okay, anyway. I'm probably gonna leave you guys. Which era would I draw it in? I want to do it in Dawn. So I want to do it while the, when they're going to the lake from the forest territories and like all 4 clans stop and visit the tribe. Like, I'd want to do it then. It'd be a huge picture. It'd have like, I don't even know how many cats it would have. I'd have to calculate. I'd have to do some hardcore research. Anyway, okay. Well, I'm gonna head out. Thanks for watching, guys. And I will be back on Thursday. Probably working on this picture still. Oh. So, yeah. Talk to you later. Bye.